Hi class, so today we covered finding slope between 2 points. Please make sure that this is your third I can statement on your front page. Then we are going to continue talking about some vocabulary words. We've been using these vocabulary words for a while. Remember that a point must have an x value and a y value, and it must be able to be graphed on a grid, okay? Well, a graph is that thing that looks like this, and it has the 4 quadrants. So just remember that a graph, what we're talking about now, is the coordinate plane, and a graph must have this x-axis right here. This is called the x-axis. And then it must have this up and down one, which is called the y-axis. And the last word on our thing is slope. A couple of other things mean slope. We have that letter M. We also have the change in y divided by the change of x. We also have the rate of change. We also have steepness. But just remember, as long as there is a straight line, whether it's going up, down, sideways, or flying diagonal, it will have slope, okay? Now, let's talk about more vocabulary. Positive slopes. Well, when we're talking about positive slopes, we are specifically talking about slopes that go from left to right up, like that one. They could go more steeply, like the second one, or less steep, like the first one. When we are talking about things with negative slope, we're talking about things that go down from left to right. And again, they could go down more steeply, but they are those kinds of lines. No slope would be ones that are straight flat, okay? Remember, if I'm on my sled and I'm on a line that has no slope, I'm having zero fun because I'm going nowhere. Undefined. Our last one is undefined, and that's that straight up and down one that looks just like the y-axis. Remember, if I'm on that slope, just a story to help you remember. Undefined. Duh, duh, duh. Okay? I go down. It's not good. Okay? Now, let's get to freeze this page, put in the information, and then we'll talk about it. All right, thank you for freezing this and putting this in your notes. All those red words are important. So this is actually just like what we learned yesterday about tables. We take the 2 points and we put them into a table that we make. Then we count up or down for y, we count up or down for x, we make a fraction with y on top of x, and we keep it as a fraction. Okay, let's practice. So here is my 2 points. I'm first going to make a table, and here is my table. I label it x and y. My first point is -1, 2, so -1, 2. And my second point is 3, 4. Now, I'm also going to draw it over in the graph, just so you can see what it looks like. All right, so there it is drawn. Just by looking at it, I can kind of see that we've got a negative slope, we've got a positive slope going, and we'll talk about that right now. So I'm just going to start with my x values. I'm circling those. I start at -1 and I go up to 3. If I do that and I go up 4 steps, I'm at 2 and I go to 4 on my y values. And I know that to go from 2 to 4, I must take 2 positive steps. So now I make my slope, m equals, and my y value is right here. I look on my chart, my y value is 2, and my x value is 4. I type this into my calculator, boop, 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 and I get out simplified of 1/2. So I know I'm going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2 to go between good points. Well, let's just do a double check to see if that is correct. So here's a good point. We know it's a good point because it was given to us. Here it is right here. I'm going to go up 1 over 2. Yep. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. See, those keep giving me good points because I'm on the slope and I'm keep going on good points. All right, let's look at our next example. This time we don't even have a line or a graph to show us, but what we can do is still make that table. So I'm going to make my table. All right, my first point is -1, -2. There's my first point. My second point is -4, 1. Now I look at it and I say, okay, I've got to find the change in my x value. All right, I start at -1 and I go to -4. Well, I'm going more negative, so that's -3. All right, now I'm doing my y's. -2 to +1. Ooh, that's a 3. So now I'm going to go m equals, and I'm going to make my fraction line, and I put in my y value first, always my y value, came out to be 3, over my x value. My x value is -3, so boop, 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 I'm going to type this in my calculator, and I get out -1. I'm done. But is that a fraction? No, I'm not done because that's not a fraction. So now I turn that into a fraction just by dividing it by 1. So that is my final answer. Boop. All right, guys, we did a few more in class, but now you've got the gist of how to do this. Please keep practicing, and I'll see you in class tomorrow. Bye.